Start with fire, add oil, let it simmer. From the crew at 58 Surf and Stab, this isn't just a podcast, it's a sensory experience. Fresh from the coast, full of flavor, and prepared to perfection. Well, kinda. This is 58 Surf and Turf. Let's get cooked. Another episode, we are here with the legend today, José Gregório, a national champ, the head of board riders in Portugal. Miguel and I, we have our steak. We're going to pepper you some questions. So I'll start with an easy one. How was your winter?
Winter was on and off.
On and off?
I would say. There were some good days in between storms.
Okay.
But there were some really good days and heavy. But it wasn't not the best winter for sure.
Any day stand out as the day of the winter to you?
Not really. There were some cool days, but not like one stand out.
Okay.
I think we normally have winters that can be dry with a lot of offshore, and we get the low pressures, just the waves. And some winters we just get the anticyclone that goes down to Morocco, and we get hit by storm after storm with rain and onshore. And we had a lot of this winter.
It sure felt that way.
Yeah.
At least we had water, huh? At least we had water.
The dams are looking good now.
Exactly.
What happens is that people comes in here and they rent and they buy houses when it's good weather, before they see a long period of time, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes we can have 4 or 5 winters like that, and then you have a really good one, and people get stoked with the vibe of the town and everything. They come, they start to live, and then they go, the weather is bad. It's not as I expected.
I mean, if they're coming from like Germany or something, they can't complain too much, can they?
If you come from England, anywhere in the world is good.
Yeah, exactly. Set the bar so low.
Exactly.
And yeah, you're like, I could almost see the sun behind a cloud today. It's massive.
Yeah.
Sunscreen on.
I think the Englishmen are the only guys that I remember in a surf trip. They were the first ones. Well, they were the only ones not to go home. They didn't want to return home. Well, other guys were missing home and everything. Everyone was anxious to get back home. The English was like, no, we stay more.
Yeah. Who were some of the English guys you traveled with?
Back in the days, I traveled with Spencer, Grishka, Alan Stokes.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys that were doing the EPSAs.
Yeah.
And back in the days, Russell Winter.
Yeah,
Carwin,
I was waiting for that one.
Carwin Williams?
That was a heavy crew. Karen Williams, legend.
I've heard some stories about him. Do you have any first-hand ones?
Well, you have to ask him.
Maybe we'll have him on.
He's, for sure, he has a big pipe of stories, Karen.
We
have to invite him here.
Yeah, we'll get him down here.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I want to wind it back to the early days now. Tell me about how you started surfing.
Well, I think it was by mistake. I used to live in Carcavelos, and at the age 11, we went to the beach with a bunch of friends on the bikes, and there was some good waves that day, which is very unusual in the summer in Carcavelos. And I tried the surfboard, and I made a drop actually. I remember the surfboard was red. The waves were like this big. For me, it was huge, of course.
Yeah.
The first day you go in the water, it's always big. And I just went home and I said to my mom, I want a surfboard because I want to be a surf champion. That was it.
Wow. And you didn't try on a bodyboard or anything before that?
No.
Just that first day, try on surfboard?
No, surfboard. And well, there was no surf schools. There was, in the beach, everyone knew each other.
Yeah.
So one of these friend of mine on the bikes, he knew someone with a board. We were trying the same board for a while, for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And I just got stoked with it.
Not an easy place to make a drop, too.
Not easy place now, but it's a good place to be a good surfer.
Yeah.
Because the waves are fast and you really need to do a lot of turns in Carcavelos. It's much easier to, if you want to be a professional surfer with a long-term vision, beach break is much better than a point break.
Yeah. Was that the era, though? I heard that there was a time when there was a really good, long left towards the one end of the beach.
Yeah.
Fort.
Well, I think That's part of the myth.
That's how they remember it, at least.
Because Carcavelos, when it's like a really west swell with offshore, it gets those lefts.
Okay.
And there was a trip that I think was a Hawaiian Rory Russell did in the 70s, and he was pumping one day, and they spread the Carcavelo was a massive left,
crazy
and
left.
yeah. So they got one good day, which happens. That happens a few times a winter, but it's not often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was told that it was just like decades where there's consistently like a good left there, like a crazy bank, but that does make sense. It just needs that super west direction.
Yeah, you need super west or south, because if it's a north swell, it's more right-handers and it's a lot of rib and it's hard to close out.
Yeah.
So that's most of the swells that we get in the winter. When you get those wrap-around ones, gets a good left.
Nice. So you try surfing that first day, you immediately get addicted, and then what happens?
And then was like a normal kid missing school.
Normal.
Hiding the surfboard in the, you have the elevator on my building, and there's a trick to push the elevator up, and you see the hole in there. And I was putting the surfboard in the hole for my father didn't see that I was on the beach instead of school. And then I just started to do contests at 15, and then I was a pro surfer until I was 33.
Wow.
And I started before. I started to work in the industry at 28.
Yeah.
Already like a mix, one side to the other.
Well, that's a good stint as a pro, though.
Yeah.
What was your focus? Like, you mentioned some of the European tours before, but were you focused on that? Did you give the QS like a crack around the world for a bit?
So, back in the days, we're talking about the late 80s, beginning of the 90s, the EPSA tour was very strong in Europe.
Yeah.
A lot of Australian guys and South Africans were doing the European tour. Guys like Justin Strong, Jeremy Biles,
David Malherbe.
Yeah, Dave Malherbe. There's plenty more. Clyde Martin. There was a lot of good surfers.
Even Paul Canning.
It was Paul Canning, yeah. It was easy for us to travel by car and do a career at European level. And then in 92, the QS started.
Yeah.
And by then, when the QS when I got a better level to go to the QS, I was already like 28.
Okay.
And I remember that I had a meeting in Quicksilver with Tom Carroll and Paoli Zarazu at the time.
Yeah, sick.
And they asked me, we are in a Canaries in a surf camp. And there was all the good European surfers from Quicksilver in there. Mickey, Jonathan Gonzalez, Patrick Bivin, Fred Robin, all the good guys, Thiago.
Yeah.
And they asked me, so what's your goal? Like, they ask any kid individually, what's your goal? And they all said the same, that I want to be world champion. But we know that back in the days, the European surfing was not so strong as Australian, Brazilian, or Americans.
Yeah.
So I said, listen, I'm 28. I want to do the QS for a couple years, but not to be world champion or not to qualify, but to know the people and then start to work in the industry. I want to stay with the brand. I want to make a career in the brand. So they pay me the QS for 3 years.
No way.
For that, yeah.
Sick.
Just to, to meet the guys, to meet the backstage of the industry, let's say.
Yeah.
And I was traveling with the kids. I was traveling with Belly at the time.
Yeah.
Belly was the team manager. And then there was me, Spencer, and Gorky Arito in Spain. We were the ATMs, the assistant team managers. And we're traveling with the kids to Hawaii, to Australia. I surfed first time with Jeremy in a sunset. I took Aritz to Australia. He didn't speak Spanish back in the days. He was speak
Just
only
pure
Basque.
Yeah. Wow.
So all this generation that comes after me, I was looking after to the kids.
Wow. Incredible timing.
Yeah, it was very good timing.
That's really cool. Although that sounds lovely, but I can't imagine the era where you could just drive around Europe with your friends, chasing events and
Yeah.
everything that probably goes on around events, all the fun.
There was money. There was
Uh-huh.
money in the industry. There was a lot of vibe. There was focus on surfing.
Yeah.
And well, it's different times than now. for
Yeah.
sure.
Was that, I mean, I'd imagine there was a mix, but I'd have to think that there are some events that were like, even if you're not getting good waves, it's just like you're on a sick beach in the middle of summer somewhere and then there's just a million people around. It's just kind of madness.
Yeah.
Bit of that going on?
Well, a little bit. Yeah, but the events I did, like I told you, I was not one of the top surfers.
Mhm.
I was already a bit older for that goal to reach out the city at 28. So I focus in events like the Maldives, West Australia, Hawaii, and South Africa.
Got it.
I focus in the events. There was the 6 stars, the 5 stars, 4 stars. So I focus on the big ones with good waves.
Yeah.
Because I'm also a big guy. I have difficult to surf in places like Brazil or Huntington Beach or whatever. So I was not investing money to go to those ones.
Yeah.
But I still did a little bit because of my goal to stay in the industry.
Got it.
Good waves, but big waves also. You always had an appetite for bigger waves, right?
Always. Always want
Because
to,
you're a big guy, or because you really love those big drops?
because I was I wanted more. I wanted to get a bigger barrel. I wanted to get more barrels. I wanted to get a bigger wave. I always wanted more in my life. I was searching for more adrenaline day after day.
Did you get the feeling like, because I think right now this place is looked at, and obviously of Nazaré, which is its own thing, but the slabs here too are, I think, just widely known to be some of the best in the world when they're on. And from what I gather, you had spent some time around those in the early days. Was there a sense that you were really lucky to have that in your backyard, or was there kind of a sense like, oh, well, this wave is here, but maybe there's a crazier one in Australia? Like, did you kind of know how lucky you were to have waves like Peralta or something just at easy access
It's
for you?
a good question, because I think at the time we don't realize how lucky we were. I was doing I did Nazaré for 5 years with Tiago and Ruben and Paulo alone, no one there.
Yeah.
We were super scared of the rocks. We were discovering, and maybe we're not surfing the biggest waves ever because there was bigger waves next to the canyon, but we were discovering the place.
Yeah.
In Peralta, we surfed many times. For us, was like Chopo, and Cave was just impossible. We've seen it many times before we went in the water one day.
Yeah.
And only I think only now that it got super crowded, everywhere you go, it's super hard to get a wave, that you realize and you look back and you go, wow, I surfed those waves alone.
Yeah.
And now it's impossible to surf quiet.
Yeah, when those waves are on,
Yeah.
well, you could probably still find windows at the cave if you're a psychopath, but the other two, if it's on,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a million people.
I mean, this crowded, it of course pushes the limits. You see better barrels, you see the level go up very fast, and the kids pushing each other is crazy in the water. We were just 2 guys out, so we were like super careful.
Yeah.
But even at Coxas,
No, in Coxas there was a crew already. When I came to Coxas, I surfed Coxas first time in '86, and there was a crew already. Paulo from Billabong was one of the guys that wanted to punch me when I drop in on him.
Look at you guys now.
Yeah.
Put that one behind you.
Now we look back and it's funny. All those stories are funny. Yeah. No, but there was a crew, especially from some guys from Ericeira that came from Lisbon, and they stayed here because of Coxas, because of the wave of Coxas. And there was also some crew from São Pedro, a lot of good big wave surfers like the Ruivos, Miguel and Gonçalo. There was some really good surfers back in the days in Coxas.
Yeah. And so you remember your first time surfing there, you said, where you and Paulo had a little
No, that was not the first time, but I remember the first surfing Coxas. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. And so I'd imagine it was a wave that you'd heard of and known about and seen for a while. Like, what sparked the first trip there for you, I guess?
In here?
Yeah.
In Ericeira?
Yeah. Well, to Cochos.
You know, I was 12.
Okay.
I was a kid in Carcavelos. And I was surfing Carcavelos, and sometimes in the afternoon, you get these guys that surf Cochos in the morning, and they, with their stories, he was pumping, it was west swell, he was coming this way, but he was breaking here. You go from behind, and you get stoked as a kid to listen to that, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, I want to go there. And that pushes for you, and one day I got a ride, and I came
Wow.
also to surf Cochos.
And it was love ever since, huh?
It changed my life.
Yeah.
Because like many others from here, we are not locals from Ericeira. We're not born in Ericeira. We are locals because we've been here for 30 years now.
Yeah.
But we were from Carcavelos, we were from Lisbon, from Oeiras. Most of these guys that are the old crew from Cox, like the what you call the núcleo duro,
Yeah.
the whole pack in there. There's not many guys from here. Almost no one is born and raised in Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah, there was not many people in the country. In the 90s, maybe there was 150 surfers in the country. There was a little group in Algarve, Costa, Caparica, Carcavelos, São Pedro. Ericeira, there was no surfers, or almost nothing.
2 or 3. Yeah.
Wow.
And there was a little bit in Figueira, Aveiro, and Porto. That was it. And we knew each other. When there was a contest, the call was, there was no phones, nothing. The call was word of mouth.
Yeah.
There's going to be a contest in Porto. And we showed up like that.
Easy.
Yeah.
There's a few more surfers here now. I don't know if you've noticed, but it has gotten a little bit busier.
There's a lot of surfers now.
I mean, you might, we kind of talked about before when you had these crazy waves in your backyard, and now they're all quite busy, but even just the day-to-day waves, it must have been an incredible just journey watching how much this place has taken off for you.
If I knew it. Well, we never imagined this.
Yeah. I don't know how you could
It's easy to look back. But the question is, now you know the world. You know the world. Where are you going to invest now? You know the next place?
I know.
You know?
I know. But I won't tell you. Where he lives.
Well, you guess.
I guess.
I'm
guessing. Of course.
But are you sure?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Of course not.
But if I was sure, I would go to the next place, you know?
Yeah.
And start all over again with the experience that I have. Back in the days, we didn't see that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We didn't expect this to go this way, it is said. In the last, I would say, 15 years, it was crazy, the change that it is said ahead.
Yeah. Night and day, huh?
Yeah. Well,
Wow. And so was there like a sense that, like, let's say, all right, we're working with a 10, 15-year timeline, maybe halfway through that did you have the sense like, okay, this is probably where it stops? Like, did you think that like, okay, it can't go any more popular than this? Or was it just like, it's only going to just go up?
you know, I don't know. That, again, it's very easy to look back and you go, wow, I saw the supermarkets coming.
Yeah.
And I went like, these guys are crazy. They're opening 4 supermarkets next to each other, and there's not even one good chick in town.
Yeah.
You know, when I got divorced, I thought I'm done in here. I have to move down. And they're opening hypermarkets everywhere. So
That's where they raise the chicken.
it's very hard to look back, to look forward and see where this goes.
Yeah.
Because the trends, especially nowadays, the trends go very fast. People go like this in information, and it goes super fast.
True.
But when we look back, some people go, I knew it. Yeah, but
I had a hint. That's more the...
it's very hard to... No one has a crystal ball.
Yeah. Was there a time when you, like, that you'd almost look at as like a sweet spot? Like, were the early days kind of just for you as a surfer, was that the best just because it was so uncrowded and still some mystique around it and, you know, more of a tight-knit crew? Like, would you say that was the best, or did you feel like there was a moment where it was getting a little bit more popular, where maybe you had figured out surfing more? Like, what to you was like do you feel like was the era or kind of timeline when you had just the most fun surfing here, or felt the most lucky, even if it's in hindsight?
I think was the 90s,
Yeah.
because first it was not so crowded, and I was in my prime time.
Yeah.
I was getting a lot of waves. Now, in my head, I still think that I can get a lot of waves, but I cannot. So the kids get the waves.
You still have some. Come on.
Oh, you
So-
shouldn't have inspired them all with your good surfing then.
Yeah. No, I think in the 90s for me was the best. Around that 28, when
But
you like
also-
when you feel invincible.
But also, you came to live here
I
by
came to
that
live.
time. You married really young. You had kids. You changed your life from Carcavelos to here, really young. How
24.
at 24? Come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who does that? Who does that?
Well, I had a goal. You know, I wanted to be a good surfer. I wanted to build my image, my career. And I was spending a lot of gas. I needed to put 4 guys in the car to share the gas, the price of the cost of the gas.
Yeah.
I thought, why don't I move here? So I started to look for a land, and I bought a land at 24. I built a house, and then family came and all natural. Yeah.
Wow. Damn. Well, did that right.
Well, it was I didn't buy a land because I knew that they said it was going to explode this way. I bought a land because this was the
just
place
needed-
that I felt home, and I wanted to be because of the waves, especially because of Kosh. I love Kosh. That's the the other waves are good. There's a lot of good waves, but the one that made people and was the key turning point for this community is Kosh.
Yeah.
We know that the old crew guys, the guys that have some weight in the community, it all came up around Kosh.
Got
That's
it.
why you keep it so
Close.
not close because, or closed,
Yeah.
but tight. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
tight. You have an association to protect Goshos. You're very active with the city hall. You do act if there's some misbehavior in the lineup. So
True.
is this really the jewel of the crown, and you want to keep it that way?
For sure. You know, I think we all agree that as core surfers, like the community guys, we all have in mind that we need places where we can have the pure feeling of surfing and enjoy surfing, as it was
50, 60 years ago.
60 years ago. And if we destroy everything we go, every place we go, that's not going to be that. And we've seen it many places around the world, especially in the industrialized world,
Yeah.
that construction contests, they changed waves for life forever.
Yeah.
And we want to keep that away from Koshus, for that wave. We are not against progress or the industry, because we have association that did the World Surfing Reserve. We have places like Ribeira, what is written in the rules of the association that are to do contests, that are to promote surfing,
Yeah.
to support the industry,
And it's
everything.
a very good wave. Come on.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
great comp wave.
Yeah. And so we're not against, we're not like people that lives in a cave in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
We know that the world keeps moving.
You surf cave, but you don't live in one.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Uh,
You just
So
hide
we-
a little bit there.
Yeah.
we
Spend a little
just
bit of
want to have one place that it's like protected, and people feel that we go in cautious like you go, and you can put your stuff on the beach. You can leave your phone, the car keys. You go in the water, you come out, you take some sun. We used to be there naked. Now we can't because there's a lot of chicks surfing. But we used to come out of the water and stay for 1 hour just naked in there, waiting for the next session. Of course, those things, they change. But the wave, the parking, there's no bars, that you still have the same feeling that you had back in the days.
Yeah.
And that is a pretty cool thing that if I can pass that to the younger generation, to the kids, and that's what we're trying to do. We have a very tight WhatsApp group that you are allowed to come in if you really protect the bay. It's called Coxos Núcleo Duro. And I did this group back in the days, and if a kid starts to show up in the lineup and he has a good attitude towards the protection of the bay, he's allowed to come in the group. If not, he has to grow up,
Yeah.
learn the process, and join in a few years.
Put him on the waiting list.
I like your style.
I mean, there is something so special about it. It's obviously a world-class wave. And yeah, to be in 2025, we talked about how built up the rest of the town is. Just, it's still no cam, no comps, no bar, just low key. That's really special. And I think there's also something to be said about, I think we've all been to waves that are just unregulated anyway, and it's not fun for anybody. It's just like chaos.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, even if it's a good wave, I'd almost avoid surfing certain places because it's like, I'm not going to enjoy it. I'd rather
have that experience. We all have,
Of course.
And if we kill every good place that we have, that we enjoy, we don't have fun anymore.
Totally.
Yeah. That's why the localism on Coxos is not about stopping you because you are a foreign guy to surf in Coxos, but it's about to protect the bay.
Yeah.
Protect the playgrounds that course surfers enjoy. Coxos, another thing that we did in here, we how do you say, categorized the beaches like the ski resorts.
Yeah.
From black, red, green, and blue. And Coxos is black. Why? Because it's not a place for beginners. It's a place for intermediate to good level surfers to come and enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's the localism that we want to spread in Coxos. It's not about fights or whatever. We never have that.
Yeah.
In the water.
Everyone is welcome, but you have to respect, right? Even if
that's
you're
right.
a local kid or a world champion, it doesn't
Like any other place, especially if you are a world champion. You need to respect me.
Of course.
You need to give
Of course, the example. Of course, the example.
True. Wonder if there's something.
Yeah, talk about Parco at Peniche, for example. Come on.
Exactly. Yeah. And then at home, we all like this. At home, we will, as a surfer, all of us, we protect home. When we travel, we have to know how to behave. That's part of life.
I'm in this weird phase of life where, like, all my friends where I grew up still surf the wave that I grew up surfing. It's just a jetty. And now whenever I go back, it's like I haven't lived there in like 10 years. And so when I go back, there's like some new faces there, and it's similar thing. Like, everybody kind of waits their turn, but there's definitely a group of people that they get more turns than other people and get to pick. And those are my friends, but I'm like, I don't really like, there's kids that probably surf the wave way more than I do in the last 10 years. I'm like, sorry, buddy. Like, I think I still have this. Like,
Exactly. You feel part of the thing because you were there in the beginning.
yeah. So I'm like,
Who's still a very good surfer there, or who are the very good surfers there? Your generation or older than you?
In Coxos?
Yeah, in Coxos.
There's a lot of...
Who still gets a lot of waves there?
we're getting old.
Yeah.
The truth is we're getting old. And the guys from my generation, we have more difficult to get a lot of waves. We have more difficult to get the hard ones to drop. We're late, and we don't have the same speed as we used to be. So what we did is that we try to involve more the kids into the protection, into the association. Kids like Neko, Martin,
Yeah.
and all these kids, they part of the thing now, and they're gonna carry out the torch for the next generation.
But they get more waves.
Of course, they get more waves now.
Of course.
Yes, they're younger, they faster.
Yeah.
They get more waves than us, but they, at least they learn the spirit of the band.
But I still see Thiago Piloto, I still see Thiago Oliveira, I still see you,
Yeah,
Paulo.
yeah, we all go. We all go.
Kikek, sometimes, you know.
Yeah, we all go. There's a lot of guys.
Nick, come on.
Yeah. A lot of guys, they still go every day. They are in there, and the kids, they respect the older ones a lot, which is very cool.
Yeah.
You know, when we pedal for a wave and we are in the right spot, they respect you. But we need to teach them to keep this place as it is, because in the long term they're gonna win. You know, because when you are 25, you get all the waves. You don't need to protect anything. You don't need to have this spirit in the water. But when you are 40, things start to change. And at 50, if you want to get some waves, you need to be in a place that there's respect, there's a line to. Otherwise, you buy a ticket to the surf pool.
I heard there might be one coming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably around.
Which is fun,
it is.
you know.
It
I
should
was
be.
completely against the surf pools as a course surfer, and when I tried, I was like, "Whoa!" I got stoked with this.
What
It's
was
my
the first
wave.
one you tried?
It's the one in the Basque Country, the
The test center.
test
wave
center.
park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the first one. Then I went to Alaya Bay, and I was like, "Whoa! You get different waves. It's your wave. You get a lot of waves in 1 hour. It's a very good thing, actually.
Yeah. Totally different experience too.
Totally different experience.
Yeah.
When you're born in the ocean, my first approach was that's crap, and then the first wave I did there, I got stoked. It changed my mind
Yeah.
quickly, and
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing.
I think so too. I mean, it's hard not to have fun, especially like just the first wave or two. You're just in a pool of like dead water, and you're
Yeah.
like, how am I going to be surfing in
Exactly.
10 seconds? And the thing comes on, and you're like, oh shit! Like
And
you
the
don't really know where to
options,
sit.
you know,
You're like, it's next
the
to the
options
wall.
that we have, you can rent for 1 hour with your friends
Yeah.
and just be there and have fun in between you guys. You know,
Yeah.
you can buy 1 hour every week, just you and the friends, and then go dinner. It's pretty cool. The whole thing is very well, and I think there's a lot of progression on that.
Yeah. And I mean, it just
Huge.
the ocean's always there too. You know.
Exactly.
Even if there's a pool there, you don't want to be part of it. Okay, go surf there then.
And
Same-
we have many on
change.
short days and
same
bad
thing.
days in the
Yeah,
ocean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing I experienced at Gasoline. Have you surfed Gasoline? The wave in the river
I've seen it.
created by the boat. I thought I was in a pool of. I was in the middle of the river,
Yeah.
floating with my board, and then suddenly the boat came, and I was laughing. I missed my first wave because I was laughing so hard because there was a wave like maybe a meter tall. I was like, "What? Really?
Fun.
It's crazy. It's so much fun."
Yeah.
But come on, that's yeah. We're getting away. We're getting away. Talking about sensations.
Well, we'll bring it somewhere new then. You talked about before you wanted to kind of transition out of competing at the highest level, but you did that by competing at a higher level and hitting the QS for a bit. After you said it was 3 years that you did that to just kind of, work with some of the younger guys and get a feel for the tour. What happened after that stretch?
So the progression was I was starting as a team manager
Mhm.
and doing the QS at the same time. I did a few results back in the days. My best was 4th at European and 8 finals in some 6 stars QSs in Europe. After that, I started to work also with the marketing guys from France, from the Quicksilver headquarters. And then at 33, I started on sales.
Okay.
I was doing both sales and surf a little bit. And eventually I just started on sales. And 2010, that's when I became the head of Quicksilver for Portugal. And we opened this shop. Along with the World Surfing Reserve was everything at the same time.
Oh, really?
And this was also one of the reasons that town changed, you know.
Yeah.
Quicksilver came in town, was a big shop. So it was a bit like what happened in Huntington Beach back in the days on Torquay and even Osegor. You know, Osegor was a place in the lands with nothing, you know.
Yeah.
And then the surf industry came and they changed Osegor
Yeah.
forever. And it is said, I think he had the same progression. Then that was the view of Pierre Agnès. That was the guy that he was 10 years in front of us with that view.
It's
You have a good story with Pierre Agnès. How do you convince? Can you tell? You told me that story. I want you to tell to everyone who's watching. How do you convince Pierre Agnès to be in charge of Quicksilver here?
So I didn't convince him.
Yeah, you convinced him with one thing. You convinced him.
I
You
don't
showed,
know if
you showed him your place that you were building.
Well, he called me one day and he said, I want to check the main clients in the country, like the main sport chains and everything. And I said, I'm not available tomorrow. And I said, why are you not available for me that I come to Portugal after 20 years?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, because I have a truck of bricks coming tomorrow morning. I'm building my house and I have to unload the truck. It takes at least 2 hours. And then I'll be free to go with you to visit the clients. And he goes, "Ugh." He was not happy with that.
Yeah.
And he goes, so I met him at 10, not at 8 like he wanted, because he was an early start guy. I met him at 10 and he said, so we go visit your house before we go to the clients. And he visited my house and he said, okay, I'm done here. I go back to France. And I was like, so what happened here? He comes to here to visit the clients, and after 2 hours he takes off. He just see the house, he doesn't see the clients. And then a few weeks after he called me, so I made my decision. You getting the job because I've seen you capable of doing things.
Ah.
You building a house better than mine, so I trust you. That's what he told me.
Visionary guy, huh? Yeah. Yeah, visionary.
He's got a crazy house. Well, he had a crazy house too.
Yeah. Well,
That's an incredible story. And so, what timing? Thankfully, that brick delivery was arriving that day.
this was a Monday morning, 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And he called me Sunday night. I arrived in Ericeira, tomorrow we go. And I said, impossible. I can't change this, you know? And that was it. And that was the start of the process of doing the shop in here and change the whole thing.
Nice. And so you were from there, it took off then.
Yeah. And then was building all these and working for the brand, which was my brand since I was 19, you know.
Yeah.
I grew up in the brand. I met all these people, so it was for me, it was a natural process.
Yeah.
Of course, nowadays, even that is way different. You know, the brands change a lot. Our industry was bought by trust funds. Some went public, and now it's way different, the things.
Different.
Way
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. So tell me about because it's a crazy location, massive shop, and you have music every week. And I know tomorrow, like there'll probably be, I'm gonna guess, like 100 people just throwing about the lawn, listening to music. What were the first few years like? I can't imagine it was you had a big shop there, but was it like as busy? Were you seeing that many people still, or was it like pretty slow in the beginning? It's just I'm trying to imagine what that thing would have been like on like opening day.
The opening day was actually crazy.
Really?
Yeah. We had a concert with maybe 5,000 people in the parking lot. The whole parking lot was full.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because, you know, Quicksilver was a big thing to Quicksilver to invest in Portugal back in the days.
What year was that? Sorry, exactly.
2011.
2011. Okay.
And Quicksilver was quite big in Europe, you know, doing the city in France, attracting all that people to the beach.
Yeah.
And in here, the city in Peniche was already big too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people in the beach going to follow up Kelly Slater and stuff like that. So it was the opening was like a standout already in the country.
Yeah.
But then, like every house that you build, it's step by step. Of course, the
Brick by
first
brick.
brick by brick. Of course, every event, we were growing a little bit, but in the beginning we had 100 people, 200, 300, and eventually now we have every Friday we have like 3,000 people.
2,000-3,000.
Yeah,
Yeah, my estimate a little bit off there.
For the concerts. Yeah.
it's busy now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. Oh, that's incredible.
it's that is a good story, that show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And do you still live in that house that
I still
Pierre
live in that house.
Wow.
Yeah, it's my house.
You ended up building it.
I built it with my own hands.
Yeah.
So, well, it was a very cool project too.
Awesome.
And it's not looking up to Kosher, but it's looking up to the
Cave.
no, not cave. It's the beach next to Koshos. It's a great view. And my neighbors are all the locals from Koshos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the old crew guys.
Yeah.
So I was the last one to buy the land in there. So we are like 6 or 7 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 7 guys.
I don't think gas money is a big problem for you now, but if it was, you could just carpool there still.
Yeah.
It'd be very easy.
Yeah.
Not a far drive, but
We have different timings now and different size of ways now.
Speaking of that, you were on the QS, but first you were on the EPSA tour, the European tour, which used to be really, like you said, really, really strong. You ended up having also time to be 3 times a national champion. Back in those days, national contests and the national tour, the Portuguese surfing tour, and the EPSA was a big thing, like you said. How do you compare it to what's happening now? How do you feel? Because there's a lot of talking and surfers that do the QS. They're talking about, sometimes I hear this. An European tour should be back, like an all European tour. How do you feel about these changes that happened with the WSL and how surfing is done right now?
Well, what changed the world was internet.
Yeah.
Because back in the days, you could have different tours around the world, and there was the magazines, and we were looking at results 3 months after a thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Once internet makes our world global, you only care about the top guys. You only look at John, Medina, and those top guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why there's no money after the tens. After the top 10, there's almost no money.
yeah, it drops quickly.
Yeah.
Sometimes top 5.
So it's like there's no point for me to have an European tour, or it's good to build the base of a country. Of course, there's got to be national comps. There's got to be the clubs, they need to work, all this. In Australia, what they have with the board riders clubs, in between the beaches, I think that's pretty cool. Because that's the main thing that we have in our heart is to fight for our hometown, is to defend our hometown. And this is very good. This should always be present. But to have different tours than the WSL, I mean, there's no interest. The kids don't want to follow that. That's my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess it's like you don't see any other tours, but you do see like the side events, like the specialty events, which obviously they can't tap into WSL surfers, well, CP surfers.
Yeah.
But it seems like there's more and more of those popping up, which there's usually not money in. And it's not like you could do that for a career because you're relying on them just popping up month by
And
month.
it's one event here, one there, so it's hard to make a career on there.
A lot of them are invite only, so you can't earn it. You're just chosen or not.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool that more of those are happening, but in no way is it going to replace like an ability to make a career out of surfing.
Yeah.
In the way that WSL used to.
And
I think
speaking
so,
about hometowns, which now you say it's your hometown? Ericeira, Carcavelos, or Nazaré?
Well, Nazaré was never my hometown because I was born there, but I never lived there. Carcavelos, I stayed there until I was 24, but then I embraced the life in here. I moved here, and this is my hometown. This is where I grew up. My family, my kids, my two girls, they were born here, so this is where I go to town and I know everyone. I don't feel that in Carcavelos anymore. So this is my hometown. It's where I moved. It's where I put it all my life and my effort, and I feel very comfortable with the community, with the surfing community and the vibe that is here and the spirit of it is set. Yeah, I like this town. I consider this my hometown.
Which one of the Hebrew markets do you go to now? There's four. What's your favorite?
A good question.
Come on, put you on the spot here.
I go to this or that. The one with less people, I think.
That's my approach to surfing.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the same, because we old crew.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's going to be the challenge of the kids in 30 years from now? These kids that are the top guys now, what are they going to talk about in the next 30 years?
Let's see.
We don't know. Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's all I have for you.
But I have more. I have
Yeah,
more.
more?
He's always got more.
You told me that you were born in Nazaré, which is funny because you always had an appetite for bigger waves with Paulo do Bairro. You, Paulo, and Marcos Anastácio were Team Naganga. So Team Naganga all ended up national champions, but Paulo and Gregório were like really happy to surf bigger waves. They actually went to represent Portugal at Todos Santos. Can you talk us about that contest, the one that Taylor Knox got the K2 $50,000 wave?
Well, to be honest, we were scared. It was really big. We didn't have the right boards for that, the right equipment for those waves. And we were surfing big waves. We thought we were surfing big waves. We were going to Madeira a lot. We were surfing not Nazaré at the time, but we were surfing big waves in here. And when we got there, it was huge. It was really, really big. And we were scared to drop in the right place and get waves. And I was like looking at that and I was like, wow, I want to train for this. But we were not ready at the time for that. Paddling for those waves, I know I surfed Waimea before, but Todos was nuts that day. It was like, wow. Peak.
Wow.
That's why you developed into one of the first actual Nazaré surfers, or at least charging those waves there or exploring those waves.
Well, Nazaré, it started like this, Nazaré. I knew that Nazaré, it was huge waves because when I born in the hospital of Nazaré, looking at Praia do Norte actually, but my hometown is 3 kilometers inland. And when the waves were big, my family, my grandmother, my mother, the people from there used to say, the waves are really big today, we should go see the waves. So we were going to the ocean just to watch the waves. So I remember since a little kid to watch these big peaks coming from everywhere.
Wow.
But it was impossible to surf. In the 2000s, I made a trip with a crossing, and there was Geraldo Gueiros and there was some other guys with the jet skis in there, and they were getting waves in the Mentawais and stuff like that with the skis, and I was like, well, maybe this is possible. So in 2000 we started to train for that, and in 2005 the guys from Belara, the crew from Ian Bennett Tricks, Paoli Zarazu, Vincent Lartisian, Michel Laronde, they all came down in here, and I told them, listen, they came for a big swell that we surf Cascais, but I told them the big place to surf is Nazaré.
Yeah.
But it's dangerous to drive. it was dangerous to dive, and it was new even for tow surfing, because people was doing tow surfing in Hawaii and in Jaws, in places where there was a big channel that was safe for the ski.
Yeah.
In there is never safe. You get smashed with the ski, without the ski. In Nazaré, you surf, you're gonna have problems. That's where Nazaré started. And then McNamara came.
You were his hosts.
I was his host for a while, yeah. And well, he wanted to do a career in the wave. I was finishing up my career and starting in the industry, so we went on different ways. And he was the one. He was living for that. He was pushing Nazaré to the media and to invite everyone in there, and that's where Nazaré blew up. That's when Nazaré was known to the world. It was after McNamara.
Yeah. I think I saw a show about that. May have seen that somewhere.
Yeah, someplace. But yeah, you were one of the first ones to explore it.
We were there alone. It was really it was super hard, because when we were losing the ski, there was no, like now we have the lifeguards and we have a tractor on the beach and everything. There was nothing. Sometimes we
Not even
calling
people.
guys.
Not even people on
Not
top
even
of
people.
the cliff.
were calling friends to carry out the ski by hands, and sometimes it took like 6 hours to take the ski out of the beach
Damn.
because there was no one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No other way.
Yeah, no other way.
Wow. Well, that's another place that's gotten a little bit busier.
Yes, especially with skis.
It's crazy.
More skis than surfers.
Yeah.
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 Wow. Cool.
Well,
It's I mean, again, it's not natural progress, you know. Nazaré, we have Nazaré, Peniche, Ericeira, the area of Lisbon with great waves. You have the airport 1 hour away. This is like a perfect location for this sport, you know.
Yeah.
We get flights connections from everywhere, easy connections. People come for the swell. That's why this place went.
Yeah. It's especially these days of forecasting, you can tell when you're gonna score. It's
Exactly.
like okay.
Exactly. After the 2000s, with the internet, people started to travel for chasing the swells,
Yeah.
and Portugal just became a easy place to come
Yeah.
with
Guarantee.
great waves.
You're gonna get waves.
Yeah. Yeah.
where do you see yourself in 20 years? What
Me?
doing what?
Me, I see myself in my land, taking care of my plants. That's what I love. Maybe I'll get a pig, some chickens. I'm gonna live from my land for sure. Maybe I'll go in the water a little bit if I still can stand up. It's hard to take off nowadays. It's very hard. It's harder and harder every year. So I just want to finish quietly. That's where I see myself.
Maybe studying. I heard you were a very good student.
No. Never a good student. If I liked it, I was
Exactly.
good and paying attention to classes. If I didn't like it, it was not easy thing. But I made my studies. I finished my studies. Not university, but I finished high school. I went to university, but I didn't want to go because I chose surfing, and I made my career on the surfing world.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And a very good one, I would say.
I would
Thank you.
agree.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Thank you, Gregório.
Yeah, thanks for coming by. Long commute for you, I know.
What do we need to do? But
Oh yeah. Don't forget, like and subscribe and watch the podcast wherever. Just do it. You know what to do. Like and subscribe, do it. Why? Bye.
Fight.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
I didn't tell you, but you know the name of the guy that destroys the cameras?